Today we will be classifying triangles based on their angles and their side lengths. So I first want to talk about how we can classify triangles based on their angles. So if you take a look at this triangle, you notice that all of the angles are less than 90 degrees. So that means it's an acute triangle. If you take a look at this triangle here, you see that little square here, so that tells you that there's a right angle, a 90-degree angle here. Therefore, this is a right triangle. And lastly, we have an obtuse triangle where you'll see one angle that is greater than 90 degrees, where you can see this angle right here. Now, this is new down here, so we can classify triangles also based on their sides. So I want you to pay attention to the side lengths in each of these. So first, let's talk about an equilateral triangle. In an equilateral triangle, all sides are equal, and you'll be able to tell this by the little tick marks on the side. So you see how there's one tick mark on each side? That means they are equivalent. We also have an isosceles triangle where two sides are equal lengths. I think of isosceles with two because it has two S's there. So isosceles, two equal sides. And you'll be able to see that here with these tick marks. There's one tick mark here, but then two on the side, so the ones that are matching are equivalent. And lastly, we have a scalene triangle. In a scalene triangle, all sides are different lengths, as you can see here. So let's try a few practice problems. So for our first triangle, I automatically see this little box, which tells me that's a right triangle. So I'm going to first classify the triangle by the angle. Next, I need to take a look at the lengths, and based on these tick marks, I see that they're all different sizes or all different lengths. So using this chart here, I can see that's a scalene triangle. So I have a right scalene triangle. Number two, I see automatically that all of the sides are equal based on these tick marks. So I know it's going to be an equilateral triangle. And I don't see any right angles and I don't see an obtuse angle, so I know it's going to be acute. So we have an acute equilateral triangle. For number three, I see that all the side lengths are different lengths again. So knowing that, it's a scalene triangle. And then I do see an obtuse angle here. So that's going to be an obtuse scalene triangle. Number four, I see that I have two equivalent sides. And knowing that information, I know that's an isosceles triangle. Remember the two S's, two equal sides. So isosceles. And then I don't see a right angle or an obtuse angle. So that's an acute isosceles triangle. And lastly, we have number five. Again, I see that right angle, so I know it's going to be a right. Now I have to take a look at the sides. I see two sides are equivalent. So again, that's an isosceles. So a right isosceles triangle.